Hey guys, I just figured I would go ahead and get this thing started. I'm not fully up and running yet just because I'm going to pull the questions up, but I figured why not? Let's just get started. I do need to preface this whole video by saying Bobby may come back in the middle. He's out for a run right now. I have the door open, so if he does come back, it might be noisy and distracting. Also, if like a boat drives by or something, it will be hopefully not noisy, but it could be. I haven't like given too much thought to everything, but I skimmed through just to see what we're working with, and just to move a lighter question to the top. Let's see, can you guys see that? Yeah, no, you can't, good. All right, well, cheers everybody. I am gonna open up my White Claw and we're gonna get this party started. I really appreciate you guys writing in. This is a Q&A with questions from my patrons. So this is an Ask Me Anything where you can literally ask me any question and I will answer it. Nothing gets missed. And I'm really excited for this one, but I'm nervous because I did take a peek and some of these questions are really hard to answer. All right, guys, cheers. Let's get into it. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Question number 1 is from Eric. And this is a really, really deep and difficult question to answer. So I wanted to put it first. He asked me like peanut or plain M&Ms, which one? And I just think it's so profound. And, you know, Eric, I'm glad you asked because this is a very divisive question. It's polarizing, right? The topic of peanut versus plain M&Ms. This is not for the faint of heart, but I will answer it. And my answer is that it depends on the context. So peanut M&Ms if it's by themselves, and maybe plain M&Ms if it's an ice cream or a cookie or something. So let me know in the comments what you think. I'm curious. No, I'm totally kidding you guys, obviously. Like, I know some people don't get sarcasm, which baffles me, but that's what that was. Okay. Now, he also asked whiskey or rum. I'm a rum girl. I had a whiskey phase in the past, but whiskey and I just have not been as close lately. I'm all about that rum, and like for mixed drinks, I wouldn't just drink rum by itself, I don't think, but like rum and pineapple or pina colada, that's for me. He also asked country or rock music, and I'm a rock girl for sure. Like I love alt rock and classic rock and any kind of rock, you know, pretty much any kind is for me. But I've recently started to get into country, and a lot. So I like both, but if I had to just choose one, I would go with rock. All right, so I wanted to start off with that light and fun question before jumping into more serious topics. So, Scaperoni, I hope I am saying your names correctly, your handles, your names, whatever. Scaperoni says, do you have any long-term goals of achievements in your plans, or are you lucky enough to be able to fly or sail moment to moment? Also, keeping your mom in our thoughts. Well, thank you. That's super sweet. I appreciate you keeping my mom in your thoughts. She is absolutely everything to me. And honestly, I normally have my future a little more mapped out. I like to be present and live moment to moment, but you know, I always have some sort of ambition or goal that I'm working towards, but lately things have been a little less clear to me. Like my future's been a little less clear. So what I do know is that I'm loving vlogging and exploring the world. So I just want to elevate my content and just kind of fine tune everything. I want to get more creative and really find my voice online. I think that's a big goal for me right now. Just get more creative and fine tune what I've already been working on. And aside from that, I want to be of service to people. So I feel like the camera is just like, shoo. like swirling around. I'm gonna double tap my face and make it track my face. Come on, buddy. There we go. All right, tracking enabled. So it's gonna track my face now. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. I hope it's better than how it was before anyway. But being of service is really calling to me right now. And I do think that in the future, I want to help people more, and I just want to fine tune my content. So I can't say that I have any clear achievements in my future, but I trust that that'll come in time. It just might be a phase of my life where things aren't as clear, and I may be living in the moment a little bit more. So, yeah. Joe Mama says, seeing how you have at least one supporter in me, have you given any thought to starting an OnlyFans? This is the question of the year, guys. Because of how often I'm asked this, I am confident it would be a very lucrative business decision, okay? I see you guys. I see what you're looking for. I hear you. But I'm just not passionate about nudity. Like, for me, it's just not a passion of mine. If it was, I would have had an OnlyFans yesterday, but I just don't have a passion for it. So I guess never say never. Like, I think that's pretty straightforward. I think that answers everything. I don't see myself doing an OnlyFans, but it would be really lucrative. So have I thought about it? Yes. Do I have plans to? No. I should say, like, I don't post nudity. I don't. I post some things that are a little sexier, a little more explicit on my Patreon in those upper tiers. So if you are the kind of person who's looking for that specifically, you might find something closer to what you're looking for there, but I don't post any nudity online. So, yeah, I respect your question. Pawel Kabata. I hope I said your name right. It was fun the way I said it. I just don't know if I said it right. Pawel says, I'm your huge fan and honestly think that you're the best thing that happened to the channel since a very long time. But aren't you afraid that people might consider you as another girlfriend? You and Bobby are great together, but we all know that Bobby has had a few partners on the boat throughout the seasons. Wow, good question. So first of all, thank you for the compliment. I think that's really sweet. Oh, Bobby's back. Bobby just got back. Hi.
You want to pause and then I'm gonna go clean the hole so you can have privacy?
Oh, sure. Okay. I can pause. Okay, we're back. I had to pause the video because Bobby came in. He had been for a run and then got back literally right before I was about to start talking about him. So we decided that we would just pause. I'm actually going to read this question again just for myself because it's been like 5 minutes since I read it last. I'm your huge fan and honestly think that you're the best thing that happened to the channel since a very long time ago. But aren't you afraid that people might consider you as another girlfriend? You and Bobby are great together, but we all know that Bobby has had a few partners on the boat throughout the seasons. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for the compliment. It's a great question, and I actually have been afraid of that in the past, but at this point, I could not care any less because we do have a legitimate relationship. My only concern has been that people will think I'm naive. Anyone who thinks that, like, that's the situation might think that I'm naive. And that was my only worry in the past. But really, I haven't thought about that in a long time. And if you look at it, he's really only had 3 serious girlfriends since, like, 2016. And I would be the 4th. So I really don't think that's too outlandish, and I understand that he's brought other girls out on the boat, and people might even perceive other people as more serious girlfriends, but I don't think he's living his life much differently than another bachelor his age would. I just think it's public, so it's a little bit different, and people make their own assumptions about him and about his relationships and stuff. So I think that's the main difference, that it's all public. But I don't think he's doing anything totally unreasonable. So, I just wanted to add that on there at the end. Now, hey.
Sorry, it's water's cold. I need a wetsuit.
John Gibbons says, good point. Bobby comes across as a player. Don't want to see Amanda get hurt. Wasn't long after Steph left that Bobby hooked up with Amanda. So, as a viewer, someone just watching the videos, I could see where you would get that, but it was like 6 months between Stephanie and me, which is a pretty reasonable amount of time. So, if Bobby's a player, he's playing me really well because it seems like he wants to be in a long-term relationship. Stay tuned. I guess we'll all find out. We'll find out eventually. No, I think it's fine. It was 6 months, but again, I could see as a viewer why you would think the timeline was different. Okay. Glenn Goodall says, my wife and I, don't think Bobby is a player considering the time span Laura and Stephanie in 7 years, not what you would call playboy style. He broke up with Stephanie in May of 2023. I don't know when you two started dating, but it was at least 3 months, so not what you would say jumping into a new relationship. Also, we hope your mom is well. Now, a question for you, is Bobby a keeper? Is he the one? We think for Bobby, you are the one. Well, we hope so. Stay happy, Glenn and Jackie. Okay, so thank you guys for really putting me on the spot. We've only been dating for 6 months to answer that part of the question, so I think it's a little early to say, in my opinion, but again, stay tuned. We'll all see what happens, and we will keep you posted on what the future looks like. There's Bobby now. Oh my god. Okay guys, what if he's like down here. I could just be like, I'm gonna f him. Yeah, like Bobby's been ring shopping, and I think like within the next few months he'll probably ask me. Wait, look at him. Oh my god, it's a tuxedo. That's so funny. All right, I'm actually gonna have to freaking edit this video. I didn't intend to. All right. Okie dokie. Where are we now? So yeah, Glenn and Jackie, thanks for putting me on the spot. I think we'll just see. Like, we don't have any plans. Like, we're just kind of going with the flow. We'll see what happens. Okay. Ivor. I'm sorry for butchering your names. Do you have any sailing or vlogging ambitions, or are you just enjoying living in the moment? Sail, anchor, dinner, and drinks repeat. Living in the moment isn't bad. I'm quite sure that you're really excited about the catamaran that's just around the corner. That could open up a whole new lifestyle. Ivor, to answer your question, I do have a list of things I want to do in that regard. I have a list of destinations and adventures I want to go on, and things I want to pursue on my channel. And then I just want to fine-tune my content, of course. But Bobby and I do plan to circumnavigate. Like, we plan to sail the whole world. So that's a huge, huge goal of mine, and something we really plan to do. And I want to actually take a sailing course. I want to be good at that. It is something I would like to do. And yeah, I do live in the moment. I wouldn't say it's like necessarily how it looks on YouTube, where it's like sailing, drinks, dinner, repeat. It really is a little bit more than that. But I do like to live in the moment. And then I also like to have these like little goals to achieve along the way. Like circumnavigation. Just a little thing. A little thing I like to call circumnavigation. Okay. Joel Fernandez says, do you have any recommendations on how to stand out if you want to crew for one of the charters, like a good course or certificate to get? Now, remember how I told you guys I kind of looked through these questions before, but I didn't come up with my full answer or anything. This one I did, because I know nothing about that, but I actually wanted to help. So I've never been yacht crew or anything of the sort, but here is what I wrote after doing a little research. So I said, I actually don't know because I've never been a yachty. There you go, just said that. However, I did some research, just said that too. And I found that a lot of people online say you need your STCW qualifications and an ENG1 medical certificate, along with the ability and qualification to drive a small powerboat, RYA powerboat level 2. I would say to also get a diving certification. That's something I just think would look good on a resume, on a CV. And then any other experience or qualifications that you'd have, any other certificates that may be relevant but not completely related to yachting. Will Miller says, hey, lovely Amanda, thanks for the Q&A. It is really impressive how you are able to be a part of Sailing Doodles, but are also developing your own persona and profile on social media. Where do you see yourself in 3 years' time? Do you want to continue to increase your profile, or would you like to move on to other opportunities? When Bobby takes delivery of his cat, are you looking forward to potentially sailing around the world? Any possibility of bringing glamping doodles to Europe? Finally, keep enjoying life and keep smiling. Your videos are getting better and better. That is so sweet. Also, a lot of questions. Very sweet. First of all, I want to thank you for telling me that my videos are getting better. I love what I'm doing, but I do need that motivation because I'm pretty critical of it. I'm so new to editing, and you guys are on this journey with me. So I just really appreciate any comments like that. It helps keep me going. My videos just aren't at the level I want them to be yet. So I just really appreciate you saying that. And I do want to continue vlogging and living an adventurous lifestyle. That is absolutely what I want right now. I'm going back and reading because there's so many questions on this one. So in 3 years' time, yeah, I do really want to continue to grow the profile, grow my online presence, I guess. And the biggest difference, though, that I see in 3 years is that I really want to be of service to people. I want to help people through what I'm doing. That's the only thing I feel like is missing right now. I think I help people in some ways. There's entertainment value. People, I hope, are inspired to create their own adventures. And I just really want to help people more, maybe in a more direct way. We'll see what that looks like. I have no idea, but that's the main difference, I think. Camera's moving. Next question he had asked. He said, when Bobby takes delivery of his cat, are you looking forward to potentially sailing around the world? Yes, we talk about it all the time. We're actually trying to figure out which direction to head right now. And it's something I almost can't even imagine doing. It's so big. It's such a huge deal, but it's an incredible opportunity. I really want to do it. I really want to travel the whole world. It's one of those dreams that doesn't seem like it's possible, but in this situation it actually is. So 100%, I'm looking forward to that. And we are bringing glamping doodles to Europe. We'll be doing that this summer because we're gonna go get a camper van and cruise around Italy, and I'm over the moon excited to do that. We'll also sail around there as well, and then we have the flotilla in Croatia. But yeah, so we'll be there this summer, and maybe we can see you guys or do a meetup or something like that. Would be amazing. I would love that. Is that it? Did I answer all those questions? Okay, perfect. Woo! So we have Jirka. I'm not sure if I'm saying your handle right. How are you going to differentiate the content of your channel and Bobby's channel? It could be very similar with a shared life. That is the question, isn't it? I think so much about this, but I'm still in this kind of brainstorming incubation phase. I don't know how I'm going to differentiate the content, but I am so well aware of what you're saying. I have all these ideas, right? So I want to do some videos that are more like tips and tricks, where I come into the boat and I show you guys what you can't sail without, right? My top 10 things I would never sail without. Or videos where I show you guys all my wardrobe or my bikinis or whatever. There are things like that I can do, but that's really supplemental content on my channel. I wouldn't want that to be the main thing. I have thought about doing more day in the life kind of things, where it's a little more raw than what you see on Sailing Doodles, where I'm actually filming us getting up and making breakfast, and oh, Bobby's over here editing. Then we go out and do a little bit of exploring. I've thought about stuff like that too, but we'll see. We'll see what direction it goes. And I have ideas for specific videos. I don't really have an idea of how I'm going to differentiate the whole channel yet. I don't really know. It's a good question. Oh, it's also kind of tough because I do prioritize his channel. So I do put his channel first no matter what. And that makes it a little tricky too, to figure out what I'm going to do with my own. If I was putting mine first, it'd be a whole different ballgame. Okay. Last question. Wow, that feels like it went by really fast. Steve Robinson says, what has been the most unexpected aspect of being a sailing vlogger? And I've observed that you often wear jean shorts and a bra under shirts while sailing, which is different from what we've seen in previous seasons with Bobby. I'm genuinely interested in understanding the reasoning behind your choice of clothing on the boat. Would you be comfortable sharing your perspective on this? I think the second part of your question is going to be easier to answer than the first part. I don't really know how other people have dressed on the boat, so I can't speak to that. I've seen a lot of episodes, but I don't really notice much of a difference. What I can say, if they were wearing more bikinis, it's probably the season, because there are two reasons I dress the way I do. One, I'm dressing for the day. So I wear what feels right depending on what activities we'll be doing. Second thing is I dress for the weather. We have been traveling fall and winter together. We're just now getting into spring. So it's been like October, November, December, January, February. Now it's starting to warm up a little bit. So I really just dress for the weather and what my day is going to look like. Bikinis, if I don't need to wear a bikini, like if I'm not going to be in the sun, it's not comfortable. I need to be warm enough and probably in the sun. On this boat, there's really not as much sun. We're pretty much in the shade at all times. It's not like there's a big deck for me to go lay out on. I think it's as straightforward as that. Maybe when it warms up, I'll be in bikinis more often. Yeah, I don't know. What was the first question? You said what has been the most unexpected aspect of being a sailing vlogger? Okay, there are so many things. I think most unexpected is that we're not on a sailboat. Okay, so I never expected to end up on this boat. If Bobby had said, like, if he had called me up and been like, hey, want to come on a 34 Sea Ray for 6 months with me? By the way, we're probably going to start dating towards the beginning, and we're just going to like try to make that work. Living in one little room with each other. I would have been like, no thanks. But we came up with that idea while we were together when we figured out how delayed the cat would be. So that's the least expected thing for me, is just that I thought we were going to be on a different kind of boat. Now, another thing, if you want me to take this answer in a different direction, my personality and behavior is different than I thought it would be, because I act, I would say, my goofiest, most outgoing self with my close friends and when I'm alone. But my dynamic with Bobby is different than that. I just thought I'd be more outgoing. So, which I'm not outgoing, but when the camera comes on, I'm just like, hey. Not really putting on a show. Well, anyway, I guess this is a good place to end it because there are no more questions and this is a Ask Me Anything Q&A session. But I just want to thank you guys so much for asking questions, because what would a Q&A be without that part? Absolutely nothing. And I want to thank you guys for watching my videos and just staying with me as I learn how to create content and edit and all of this stuff. I didn't know how to do that before. So you guys are watching me learn and work towards where I want to be with it all. So it's actually very interesting. I get frustrated sometimes that it's like my content's not where I want it to be yet, but it's a learning process, and I just think you guys are incredible for sticking by my side with it all. So yeah, huge thank you to my patrons for asking these questions, and I have a lot of fun answering them. We will have to do this more often, and I love you guys. So have a wonderful week. I'll see you on the next one.